You know that feeling, right? That internal tug-of-war between the person you are right now and the person you know you could be. Well, today, we're going to dive into a philosophy that doesn't just acknowledge that struggle, it actually transforms it into a life packed with meaning and purpose.
And our starting point is this incredible challenge from Henry David Thoreau. Be not simply good, be good for something. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? I mean, most of us are just trying to be decent people, not cause any trouble. But Thoreau, he's pushing us way beyond that. He's asking us to aim our goodness, to actually build something with it. And that brings the question right to your doorstep. What is your goodness for? Seriously, think about it. This isn't just some dusty philosophical question. It's the key that could unlock a completely new way of looking at yourself, your fears, and what you're truly capable of.
So, to answer that big question, we first have to get real about what's holding us back. Turns out it's this universal force, this internal enemy, and it actually has a name. The author Steven Pressfield calls this force resistance. And you know this feeling. It's that invisible wall that just pops up anytime you try to do something meaningful, to move from a lower level to a higher one. It shows up as procrastination, as self-doubt, as a million distractions. And its favorite weapon, its go-to disguise, is fear.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. This completely flips the script on fear. Pressfield is basically saying that fear isn't a warning sign to back off. No way. It's a signal. The amount of fear you feel is a direct measure of how important that thing is for your personal growth.
So here's the bottom line. We've been reading the map completely wrong our whole lives. We feel that fear, and our gut reaction is to slam on the brakes, thinking it's a stop sign. But what if it's not? What if it's a compass, pointing you directly toward the very work you were put here to do? And this resistance, it's sneaky. It whispers these little doubts in your ear, and they sound just like your own rational thoughts. It usually starts by attacking your sense of worthiness.
Then it tells you you're too late. It points to everyone else who's already succeeded, not to inspire you, but to convince you that there's just no room left for you at the table.
And finally, for the knockout punch, it attacks who you are at your core. It tries to sell you on the idea that you're just too plain, too ordinary, that you don't have that special something. This voice has one single mission: to keep you stuck right where you are. Okay, so just knowing the enemy's name is huge. That's half the battle. But now we need a plan. Let's talk strategy for how to actually move forward, especially when you feel that fear creeping in.
And the battle plan really boils down to 3 key ideas. First, function over form. Stop trying to look like you're doing the work and just do the work. Substance over style. Second, focus on quality reps. Small, quiet, precise actions are what really build momentum. And third, and this is a big one, set the bar ridiculously low. Just low enough to get started. Because perfectionism, that's just resistance wearing a fancy tuxedo.
The master swimming coach Terry Laughlin just nails this whole idea. It's not about big, flashy, loud efforts. It's about the quiet, deliberate, focused practice that nobody else sees. That's how you actually get good at something. And this quote from Tolstoy shows us that those small, quiet actions are about so much more than just getting better at a skill. He's connecting them directly to your character. See, character isn't built in one big heroic moment. It's forged in the thousands of tiny, unseen choices you make, day in and day out. But all that action, all that character building, it has to stand on solid ground. Without a moral compass to guide you, all that ambition can go sideways fast. So for this war within, you need some clear rules of engagement. These principles, things like honoring your commitments, being honest, not stealing, they aren't just a list of thou shalt nots. Think of them as the operating system for a life that actually works. They create the stability and trust that you absolutely need to build anything that lasts. And that foundation goes all the way inward. This proverb is a powerful reminder that self-control is the bedrock of everything else. You just can't build a meaningful life on the outside if you can't manage your own impulses on the inside. It all starts there.
Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. How does this all apply to our relationships with other people? On one hand, you've got a strategist like Robert Greene, who argues that real power comes from not committing to anyone. And on the other hand, you have a humanist like Leo Tolstoy, who insists we have to see the sacred, divine spirit in every single person. I mean, those seem to be completely at odds, right? But the truly mature path, the wise path, finds a way to bring them together. It means you are strategic and incredibly careful about where you place your deepest commitments. That's the green part. But you never lose sight of the inherent dignity and value in every single person you meet.
And that's the Tolstoy part. You need both.
So, okay, we've identified the enemy, we've got a battle plan, and we've laid our moral foundation. But all of this leads to the biggest question of all. What's the point? Why are we even fighting this war within?
The goal isn't to get to some magical place where there's no struggle. This quote says it perfectly. The struggle, the rain, it isn't something to be avoided. It's actually a key part of a full life. Those tough times are where the real growth happens.
And this, right here, is what it all leads to. The reason you fight resistance, the reason you build your character, the reason you work to master yourself, it isn't just for you. It's so you can become the friend, the mentor, the parent, the leader that someone else needs. The whole point of the fight is to turn yourself into a gift for other people.
So we end up right back where we started, with a question. Thoreau asked what your goodness is for. But after all this, maybe a better way to ask it is this. The war inside of you is very, very real. So, who are you fighting for?